Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Fetch Quest podcast, where we talk about video games and more. I am your host, Guy, joined by my fellow co-host, Brewer.
Hey everybody.
Oh, come on, no!
Uh Connor, what's wrong, man?
I can't beat this stupid rhythm game.
That boy got no rhythm.
Oh, what kind of rhythm game are you struggling with?
I'm doing lockstep on Rhythm Heaven Megamix right now.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that one's pretty hard.
I can't beat it. Let's just record already, please.
Well, since it's on your mind, I guess we can talk about Rhythm Heaven Megamix. I'm down for it.
Yeah, why not?
I'm in hell.
Well, you're going to be in hell for the next 35-ish minutes, so everyone, we're talking about Rhythm Heaven Megamix today, a very fun rhythm game for the 3DS, and actually getting a sequel coming soon to Nintendo Switch and Switch 2. Is it just Switch 2 or?
Well, I mean, it's backwards compatible.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, going on Switch, but you can play it on Switch too, as well. Either way, it's been a very long time since we have gotten a new Rhythm Heaven. I think it's been about a decade since this one released on the 3DS. But I'm just gonna say I'm really excited for the new one. Megamix was cool, but they kind of didn't really market it at all. There wasn't even a physical version, so I don't think it really did all that well. Even though it was like a huge celebration for the series,
Wait, really? Wait, there was no physical version?
at least not in America. There was one in like Europe, I think, in Japan, but not America at least.
That's really weird, especially since Megamix is like kind of like a cult classic at this point. I think that's just more so due to the fact that like it's just frankly a good game and people like it. But I actually didn't know that. That's like the fun facts.
Well, that for its price as well. Like it was a $40 game. It wasn't just like a cheap $20 release or something. No, it was a full price 3DS game.
Dang, that's
Back
crazy.
in the days where a full price game was $40.
At least on handheld systems, yeah. How times have changed.
Ooh, boy, oh
Yeah,
boy.
but no.
But yeah,
As Guy was saying, this is a very good game, and I'm honestly surprised that it took them this long to make another one. Because I'm very excited for Rhythm Heaven Groove, especially with how it could potentially use some of the stuff for the Switch 2 and the Switch. I'm looking forward to that.
no, I think it'll be really fun. Especially since I know the Rhythm Heaven Megamix in particular actually uses the system mechanics of the 3DS pretty effectively, all things considered, with the dual screen setup. So I wonder how they're going to incorporate the new things with the Switch. Maybe they might do stuff with like specific Joy-Con stuff and whatnot. Maybe some minigames have like specific modes that we haven't seen yet. Like I know WarioWare does that a lot, where they will mess with like unique system mechanics depending on the console it's on. So maybe they'll do something like that for the Rhythm Heaven.
Yeah, Rhythm Heaven has
Yeah.
had a history of doing that too, especially with the Rhythm Heaven DS. That's the most unique one, I'd say, with the whole game being on the touchscreen. But I guess the first, I think we should do a little synopsis of Rhythm Heaven because Megamix in particular, it was the last entry as of recently, but it was also a celebration of the series. So instead of it just being new minigames, there was a crap ton of returning minigames just to celebrate all of them. So there's Rhythm Tengoku, which didn't actually release in anywhere out of Japan, surprisingly. It still hasn't to this day. Rhythm Heaven DS, Rhythm Heaven Fever, and Rhythm Heaven Megamix, which it did get some new games. So it celebrates all of those and the game's history by just throwing all the games together. It's probably the best Rhythm Heaven to start with, besides maybe the new one that's coming out on Switch, in my opinion.
True.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
and
no, it's you go ahead.
you first.
All right. But I was gonna say, yeah, no. It's really for a game where each mini game's like at max like what 2 minutes long. It really is just packed full of content, and it's really like cool to see.
Yeah, no, and the thing is too is that one of my favorite aspects of this game as well is that it kind of just puts you right into it to let you play the mini games immediately. That kind of leads into what's the story of the game. Well, frankly, you're just trying to get to the top of this. Is it a tree? Or
You're trying to get this little dude with an afro back to heaven. Basically, he dropped out of the sky, and you got to play rhythm mini games. It's kind of just a really bare bones and mess story, but in all honesty, Rhythm Heaven has never been about the story for the most part. This one, weirdly enough, was the one to kind of try and implement that a little more. But the biggest focus of Rhythm Heaven is the mini games, because I say that's what really separates it from other rhythm games in general. Because instead of it, there just being like a one set system, I guess, in play for how you play each song has its own set of rules and mini games that you have to follow along. They have usually unique characters. They're doing something, and you gotta press the button to the beat to do it. And I'd say part of the reason it sticks out as well is because of how the songs are integrated. A lot of times you don't even need to be directly looking at the screen to like hit a crap ton of notes. You're mostly just needing to listen to the cues to stay on beat, which is probably my favorite part about the series in general. It's a really approachable rhythm game.
I agree. I mean, as someone whose first rhythm having game was this one, I agree that it's very much like very approachable, and you are able to get a hold of a lot of the mechanics well. And I think this also allows for like some pretty like not I guess like challenge like some pretty like good challenges throughout the game of like, because as Rue said, a lot of these levels have their own, you know, gimmicks and controls and stuff like that. And a lot of, and the later on you get into the game will give you these like sort of challenge levels called remixes, where it'll jump between different mini
games.
games you've played. Yeah, different mini games that you've played throughout the game, and so you have to like on the fly, right, remember, oh, this is the gimmick of this one, this is the gimmick of this one. And I think that's really cool and interesting.
I also think with those remixes as well, some of them actually incorporate new beats or new mechanics in the mini games that you have to learn on the fly, which I think is really cool. All the remixes are the same. It's not going to be, if you replay a remix, it's not going to be different from the last one. But the thing is, for first time playing, I think it's actually pretty cool how you get to re-experience potentially one of your favorite mini games, but in a completely new way through these new mechanics. It's nothing huge, but it could be like a visual cue or just different assets, but it looks cool, and I like that.
Yeah, no, I do like how they try to tie it together as well, because some of the mini games can look really different. One of them is like you have a karate man that's punching stuff, and the other one, the dude is like kicking a soccer ball, and they have to make that mesh together in a song. So usually the song will have the theme, and then they'll dress up the characters to match that theme. Like I know one of them, there's a donut tower you're climbing, so all the characters are wearing like silly little donut outfits and whatnot. Or another one is like barbershop theme, so all of them are in a barbershop.
Yeah, no, I think the theming is such a cute detail, and I really liked seeing what each new theme was going to be. I thought it was really cute.
I also think the simplistic art style really helps this game as well, just making the minigame stand out. They're all 2D 2D assets in the game, some 3D, but for the most part, because of how simplistic the art style is, it makes every single minigame colorful, even though like black and white ones are actually like pretty stand out, all things considered, just because of the art style and how unique they look. And that's just one thing I think that really helps with the game as well, to making every minigame memorable, is that not only, is the music good and also could be challenging at points to make you remember it, but also, look, it's just fun to look at. It's a very visually appealing game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's what I
especially
was
with
gonna
the
say.
animations as well.
That's what I was gonna say too. I think a lot of my favorite, like some of my favorite ones, are where they like mix up the art style. I think one of my favorites being Rhythm Rally, where instead of it being like these 2D like little drawings, it's this like huge 3D model, or not huge, but like it's these 3D models and stuff like that, and it's like super interesting and cool. I love how frequently it like experiments with its art style and changes it. I think it's like it really adds a level of uniqueness to the game.
Yeah, especially because all the art styles, like, they work well in the game with the animations, because like when you miss a beat, you will visibly see that all the time, and you'll see the characters react. Like they'll frown, they'll be a little upset, but they'll have to keep going to stay in the rhythm. So it's good for visual clarity as well, because it does help you know, it's like, okay, I missed a beat there. Or there's even an animation for like when you're close but not completely on beat. So like, yeah, you got it, but you could have been a little more on the money. You hit a ground ball, not a home run, you know?
Mm-hmm. I completely get what you're saying. But we've been really like hyping up these mini games and stuff like that. Do we want to talk about some of our favorites?
Oh yeah, no, that's a great idea to really just explain what makes this game so great. The mini games is what makes Rhythm Heaven. Do you want to start, Connor, with one of yours?
Yeah, yeah, sure. I guess I'll start with my probably what is the earliest one you'll encounter is Philbots. I absolutely adore Philbots. It's such a catchy tune, and essentially what you do in this mini game is you're essentially you control this like dispenser, and you have to fill up these like little robot dudes with, I assume, like their energy source to the beat. And it's such a simple tune, but it's so much like fun, especially all the little animations.
It's kind of funny to me, like, some of the rhythm games are really similar, but they are also very different, because you mentioned Philbots, but there's also a game called Screwbots, which it's literally like the same mechanic in my eyes. The only difference is you hold down the button to screw them in instead of filling them in, but it still feels different enough because of the animations and also because of the song, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And we'll obviously be talking about the music later, because, you can't really talk about a rhythm game without talking about the music, but yeah, no, Philbots is one of my favorites. It's not only a good, like, starting level, but it's also just a fun game in general. I talked about this one earlier, but Rhythm Rally is super fun. And also, like, not, like, hard, but decently challenging. Because you're, especially in the later versions, but you play as this little 3D model dude, and like 3D dude, and you essentially are just playing ping pong with one of your buddies, and you just have to time the hits to the ping pong and to the beat. But the thing that makes this one challenging, in my opinion, is that you have to stay consistent. While also reacting to some of the other changes. Like, sometimes it'll be the steady beat, but then sometimes he'll hit like a log, or he'll hit like a super fast one or something like that. And so you have to keep the steady beat while also being able to react to the different like moves your opponent will do. And I think that's really interesting. And in the later versions, it definitely gets a lot harder, because the stage will move, and so you can't just rely on the visuals to guide you. And I think that's a really cool way to like increase the difficulty.
Yeah, no, it really is. I do just, again, I love the ways they'll swap it up on the fly for you to just have nice little visual effects, but also maybe throw you off a little. Like, I know one great example of that is Lumberjack, one of the new games in Megamix. Along with the game just having a great little bop, and I love the animations of the little wiggly, wobbly cats in the background. It kind of reminds me of those Invincible edits. With the way the cats move, you know what I'm talking about, guy?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, but they'll keep bringing in like logs, but then every now and then they'll bring in like a can, a baseball bat, and I know one of the final ones they bring in a peach. Would you cut it? And then a child pops out of it.
Yeah.
Oh god.
There are
actually,
moments. I was gonna say there are moments where you can tell this game is made by Japanese developers. They have a very unique sense of humor.
Oh my lord.
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah, I was actually going to talk about Lumberjack. I really like Lumberjack. It's pretty simple, all things considered. You just wait for the log to go into the middle, and then boom, right in the middle. But honestly, like, they try to mix you up a decent amount of times, especially for the remix versions. I just like it a lot. I like perfectly timed stuff. I'm a Souls player, so perfectly timing stuff is kind of kind of the thing I like to do. But yeah, no, that minigame in particular, I just think is really fun. I like the remix versions as well. Again, it's just really
How
memorable.
many
That's a fun one.
how many videos will Guy go without mentioning that he's a Souls player?
None.
I'm surprised you didn't specifically say Sekiro, because that's the one people always say is like a rhythm game because of the parrying.
Yeah, it kind of is. I'm not gonna lie. Play Sekiro if you haven't already.
Especially there is a rhythm game this one. I forget its exact name, but you do play a ninja, and there's arrows shot at you that you have to deflect and parry.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name of it though. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's one of those games you control. I think you can do it with like both the D-pad and the button, because it'll make you go left, right, left. So you have to do like one side of the control pad and then another side. It's just a lot of fun. I'd say I'm gonna go on to one of my favorites as well. With one thing I really love is when they put vocalists in a lot of the songs. A lot of times they'll save them for the remixes, but sometimes they'll do them for normal songs. And Sumo Brothers, which is also a new game, that's got to be one of the standouts, especially because the series' primary composer, Mitsuo Teruda, he was singing it, and it's just such a catchy beat, especially with the Sumo Brothers, like their slapping sounds because they're reenacting a fight.
Yeah,
No, that one's fun. I really, that one in particular, I feel very satisfied with timing the clap. I mean, just because I like clap sound effects, but yeah, no, the song is also really good for Sumo Brothers.
Well, especially the way it swaps the beat as well, with the dog with the loud whistle, and then you get into the stomps and stuff. It's just really catchy. It is kind of a shame. I did hear the vocalist I just mentioned. I know he had surgery on his vocal cord, so unfortunately he won't be able to sing in the next Rhythm Heaven game. But hey, at the very least for Megamix, we got a banger of a song, in my opinion.
Well, that's unfortunate. I actually didn't know that. Thanks. Yeah, one game in particular I wanted to bring up. I think it's solely for cuteness factor, and I just like seals, but I really like Flipper Flop.
Dude, Flipper Flop is so good.
Flipper Flop's a
good.
banger, bro. I love Flipper Flop.
I love Flipper Flop. I just love the beat of it so much. I love also just you have to time your seal with everyone else's seal. I just think it's really fun. I love the like double rolls. I just think it's really fun. I also think the remix version of it, in the compilation remix that it's part of, it's just really fun, especially when they increase the speed on it. It's a lot of fun. The Flipper Flop will always be a favorite of mine. I love it.
I do like the the Eskimo dude too, like his mustache and stuff. I have a funny memory. Do any of you guys remember the Nintendo Badge Arcade on the 3DS?
No, I do not.
No.
Okay, so it was a really weird application. Basically, you would go into it. It was a free-to-play game. You could get some free plays every day, but you could pay for some extra. That's where the microtransactions came in. But you would play a claw machine, and there was a bunch of different ones, and you would get badges. And on the 3DS home screen, in the same space where you would put your icons, you could put badges in there to decorate it. So I remember, though, I was like struggling to get the Eskimo from Rhythm Heaven because I really wanted to take the bottom half of his body so I could put like funny icons on top of it. Like I did Rusty from Rusty's Real Dope Baseball, and then a bunch of other ones. So like that's a good memory for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's great.
No, that's fun. But yeah, no.
But I was gonna say, I've been trying to look for this one mini game. I can't remember the name of it. But it also utilized vocals in a really catchy way. It was the one with like I think I might remember which one it's called actually, now that I'm trying to describe it. But it's the one where they're like airboarding and stuff like that.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. It was originally like the credits game for the DS.
Yeah, that's why I was wanting to bring it up, because it was originally the credits for Is this it?
Rhythm Heaven DS.
Yeah, Airboarder. That's what it's called, Airboarder. But I really like this one because, as you were saying, Brewer, it's originally the credits little mini game for Rhythm Heaven DS, but they made it its own little mini game in Megamix, and I really enjoyed it because not only are the vocals an absolute bop, and as well as just the regular song, but it's just such a fun little mini game.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. It has a real. The song is really catchy as well.
Yeah, no. Like I mean, I still remember like the general like rhythm to it even now, and it's been like a while since I played Megamix.
Yeah, that or even the DS version as well, because it's been a while since I played that one.
Honestly, yeah. Um,
I think I think all of us talking about these different mini games is kind of a testament to just how good the mini games are. Even if I don't love all of them, lockstep, get good. I do think there isn't a bad one in this game. I really do
no.
like the mini games in this game. Like they're all varied and they're all just fun. Also, I think what makes a rhythm game memorable is the music, and it just so happens that the music in these mini games are bangers.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's a single bad track in the entire game. Like, as much as I am also a lockstep hater, I cannot deny that the song is super catchy.
Hey. All I'm hearing is none of y'all got the gold medal first try.
Nah.
You're right. I didn't because I beat it and I never played it ever again because I do not like.
Because you're bad. You're bad at the game. You don't got rhythm.
Lockstep is just weird to me and I hate it. I know it's pressing the same button again over and over again, but what gets me every single time is the delay on the switch up and then doing the switch after that, and it confuses me and I hate it. Because
Yeah,
I'm
no.
used to
Um, I'm the
I'm
exact
used to
same
the
way,
rhythm
guy.
at that point. Then I have to change it for a little bit, and then my brain wiring, can't do it.
The thing that
It's one of
always
the
got me, like, at least with this specific version of Lockstep, is that it would change the rhythm, but with the crazy visuals and stuff like that, sometimes I would get, like, a little overwhelmed with the changing beat as well as the changing rhythm, or the, like, visuals and stuff like that.
I will say I do like the visuals in Lockstep though, because I do have a really cool reference to Bach in there, like when they're doing
Oh, no, yeah,
doing the big
I like the
offbeat.
visuals. I like the visuals, it's just sometimes I'd get a little overwhelmed while I was trying to beat it, and it would make me frustrated.
Yeah, especially like I do like the Bach reference, I do, but also that one in particular also messes me up just because of how far away they are, and it's just like, oh my god, I'm not. It's visual stimuli I'm not used to that I use to create a rhythm with the button presses, and that's what gets me.
I will say that is actually why for Lockstep, a lot of times when I play it or a couple other rhythm games that are very fast tempo and you have to constantly stay on beat, I actually kind of straight up just close my eyes for most sections of it. Like I'll initially start getting on beat for it, but I'll close my eyes and that helps me a lot of times. Because that's the good thing about Rhythm Heaven. You're really playing to the song, not to whatever crazy notes they give you. Because don't get me wrong, still do love stuff like let's say Guitar Hero or Rift of the Necro Dancer, especially like if they have really good charting that matches up with the song I'm playing. But a lot of times I just get overwhelmed with the sheer amount of notes they throw at me. Rhythm Heaven, even with like the hardest songs or remixes, I never really feel that too much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
no,
I.
honestly, I can
You go
see
first,
that.
guy.
I was honestly, yeah, no, I'm thinking about it now. That genuinely might be the reason why I hate Lockstep. I'm gonna be honest.
Skill issue.
It might honestly be just because of the visual stimuli. That's actually I never tried that before. I might actually do that for if there's like a mini game that I will have trouble with on the new Rhythm Heaven game. I will try that. That sounds actually. I never thought of doing that before because the game is very audio dependent. So that just makes so much sense. Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean the game has
Got
tips for that, but and like I don't know specifically Megamix, but I know a decent amount of the games do recommend sometimes is like don't focus on the visuals, focus on the music, because you can just legitimately play the entire game blind. People have done it. Like I will admit like some of the earlier Rhythm Heavens, especially like Rhythm Tengoku, some of the mini games you do have to like actually focus on visually a little bit, but for the most part, once they got the Megamix and especially I'd say Fever as well, the majority, if not like 99% of the mini games, you can play with your eyes closed. You just kind of don't want to because again, they have the really cute visuals going on most of the times.
True, I agree. I think
Yeah, no.
the visuals is one of the best parts about these games.
Especially stuff like ringside, you know, when they ask you to strike for the pose, and then just like the whole newspaper article pops up. I love stuff like that.
True. True.
Wubba dubba dub, is that true, Connor?
Wubba dubba dub, is that true? I can't remember how he sounds.
He just gives you like a hey.
Yeah, he just
it's like kind of a Kratos grunt.
Yeah. Boy.
Boy.
I kind of want that now. I want Kratos to be in the next Rhythm Heaven game, like how he was in Shovel Knight.
Yeah, no, that would actually be really cool. I hope the only crossover I know they've really done is like WarioWare characters, because I know in Megamix you can unlock some like WarioWare characters that show up in the mini games. Like I know Ashley will show up in like the tap dance one.
Yeah, I know.
It
goes both ways. Yeah, it goes both ways because there I played WarioWare Gold on my 3DS, and there was like Rhythm Heaven references in there too, which I thought was really cute.
Yeah, no, it is really cute. I just love the amount of references in Megamix specifically, because also with the game's final remix, what they do during the track is, it does sound a little odd at first compared to all the other final remixes, but it actually takes the title theme from every single Rhythm Heaven game, including Tengoku, even though it never got localized. It takes the title theme from every single one of those, and it plays that throughout the song, and matches it with the mini games that came from each of those games.
That's really cool, actually.
I did not know that prior.
I'm proud to sit on the throne of person who knows that, because they have played all the Rhythm Heaven games.
That's really cool.
The power.
No,
the power of Rhythm Heaven autism.
The flex of being able to say, I got a gold medal on Lockstep and you guys didn't.
Dang, he got us there. I can't even lie.
Hey, you're flexing about Souls games all the time, so I have to do it at least with the Rhythm Heaven.
True, because
honestly,
Souls games are
Rhythm
awesome.
Rhythm Heaven Flex low-key got more aura.
Comment down below, who has more aura, the Rhythm Heaven players or the Soulsborne players?
Oh my god. No. That's something I actually didn't know, and I mean it makes sense. Like Megamix is the culmination of everything up to this point, and I think it is a little unfortunate, at least from my perspective, because I never played the other Rhythm Heaven games before Megamix, so I never really got this perspective. I didn't even know that until we recorded this just now. So that's really, like, it's sad, but, like, that doesn't mean I didn't have a great time with the game, but it's like, dang, there's just an aspect that, like, with that knowledge now, it's like, dang, there's just an aspect I just completely missed. It went over my head. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I feel like the only two problems I've ever had with Rhythm Heaven games is the price on some of them, because, like, I know Fever, like, a physical copy on the Wii goes for a decent chunk of change, but that, and also just their availability, because, let's see, the first one, again, never localized. DS one is stuck on a DS, and that will be hard to port because of the touch controls. Fever has been stuck on the Wii, and then Megamix is stuck on the 3DS.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would kill someday for just like a huge Mega Man, or not Mega Man, sorry, Rhythm Heaven. I don't know why I said I don't know why I said Mega Man. I don't know why I said Mega Man. Probably because I've got Capcom on the brain right now.
As you should.
But I would kill someday for just a huge like Rhythm Heaven like big like remaster or remake collection where they like potentially even port over Rhythm Heaven. Was it Tengoku?
Yeah, Tengoku.
I would kill for that, dude. That'd be so cool.
I mean, yeah, I feel like Rhythm Heaven as a series, because it isn't like as recognizable, or isn't like its sales margins isn't as big as like the big hitters with Nintendo. I feel like they aren't going to prioritize it as much. Now I know with the Switch and the Switch 2, it's been Nintendo's priority to try and get at least one entry of every series onto the console, just to try and see if they can pick up an audience again, which is good, which I'm very happy they're doing. It's just that, like, I mean, like Brewer said, it's not really accessible right now. Like, the most recent one is on 3DS, and that console isn't viable anymore. Like, the only viable system they have is the Switch, and still there isn't a lot of stuff from previous consoles ported. So being a Rhythm Heaven fan, or at least a new one, is just not very common.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think in all honesty, like I'd like the new one, and then someday they just port Megamix, because again, Megamix has the majority of the mini games from all the other parts of the series. So I feel like if they ported that, that would at least be nice.
No, that would be cool. That would be cool. Huh. I hate to say it, boys, but I feel that rhythm in my brain. What is it? It's the sound of giving our concluding points. Ooh, I think that's on my mind. Who would like to start first?
I'll go first if you don't mind.
Go for it, please.
I think to give my concluding points, this game is really good. I really like it. I have problems with it. I feel like I mean, we've all sort of agreed that the story's like just kind of unnecessary. I never thought I'd say that a story is unnecessary in a game, but when it's something like Rhythm Heaven, it kind of is. I don't know how to really explain that.
The one time I agree with Miyamoto's opinion on that.
True. True. But no, I really like the game. I think the music's such a banger. I love the art style in the game and how much they experiment and change with that. And yeah, it's just such a fun time. I would say go play it, but kind of hard to unless you have a 3DS with it on it.
Hey, just waiting a little bit and we'll have the new game.
Yeah, I guess to follow up on that, I cannot wait for Rhythm Heaven Groove. I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, no, that's completely fair. I'll go next since I know Brewer has the most thoughts. I really liked Megamix. This was a fun game. I played it a little bit ago on the very legal 2DS that I have access to. But basically, yeah, no, this is my first Rhythm Heaven game. I had a great time with it. I do agree. I think the story is useless. I don't even remember the characters, funny enough. And I do wish that there was actually less, because the story actually has 2 fake-out endings, which I really do not care about. And it kind of ruins the pace for me, because I just want to play more mini-games. I'm going to be entirely honest. But really, that's my biggest qualm with the game, and like, for that to be my biggest qualm, that's not bad. That's really not that bad. Especially since when you get through the story, you just have access to all the mini-games, and you can just do whatever you want at that point, get all the gold medals. Yeah, go for it if you want. It's fun. It's a fun little minigame collection for 3DS, and I'm really disappointed that we don't really have access to a Rhythm Heaven game on the modern system yet, but I am just very happy with how I was able to play the game, and I was very satisfied with it overall. I want to play more Rhythm Heaven games. I'll be playing the one on the Switch come very soon. But Nintendo, hey man, if you port the other Rhythm Heaven games, I might slide a buck or two. Who knows?
Awesome. I'm gonna kind of be saying some of the similar things. You're not playing Rhythm Heaven for the story, not in like any single one of the games I have played in the series. Who knows, maybe Groove will be different, but I kind of hope not. But Rhythm Heaven Megamix was the celebration the series deserved. The series hasn't always gotten the attention it deserved, in my opinion, but it did focus on each of the mini games and each of the individual games and their unique strengths. And I just really love that, because Megamix was a love letter to the series, and I enjoyed every second of it. I love how many minigames were returning, and it was just a nice way to go back and play all of them in a straightforward fashion. I love a lot of the remixes for them, or like a lot of the sequels, like Karate Man Senior. That was really fun. And on top of that, I love all of the new minigames. They are fantastic. And like I said before, the remixes just show a lot of love and attention, especially with the final remix calling back to all the games. Again, I don't really have too much I can criticize the series for. The only thing I can criticize it, in my opinion, for this game, and that I also do hope isn't a problem in the upcoming Rhythm Heaven Groove, is I do know for the localized version that I played, at least, in Rhythm Heaven Megamix, some of the songs originally had vocals in Japanese, but when they localized them over, they changed it to instrumental instead of hiring another person to do vocals for that. So I do really hope that's not a thing as well, because I will be honest, some of those remixes, especially like the Donut remix and the Lush remix, would have been a lot better if they had vocals for the English version I played as well. But besides that, Rhythm Heaven Megamix is fantastic. If you can play it, I highly recommend it. That or just any of the Rhythm Heaven games. But if you're also just trying to get into the series in a very straightforward and accessible fashion, please pick up Rhythm Heaven Groove, especially so we actually get another one in the future and we don't have to wait like a decade again.
Oh god, if that isn't true. Oh lord. But with that being said, guys, if you like this kind of content and you want to see more of it, please hit that like and subscribe button and comment down below what your favorite Megamix minigame is. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching today's episode. We've been FetchQuest, and this has been our episode on Rhythm Heaven Megamix. Thank you all very much. See you later. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.